Parental alienation is where one parent, either deliberately or sometimes even unconsciously, turns a child against the other parent. So it really restricts the child's access to that parent, and it spoils their relationship. And often in systemic, we have this concept of the double bind. Okay, so the double bind is where you're given two different messages. Often the parent who's doing the alienating will be giving one message overtly. They'll be saying, go see your other parent. I want you to go see them. You'll have a good time, and I'll get into trouble if you don't. Something like that. But the other message, which isn't necessarily stated, is, by the way, they're very dangerous, or I can't be in the same room with them, or he or she is very nasty to me, or they don't really love you. It's a message like that that's covert. Okay, so the child is in a dilemma because they're not developmentally able to say, please sort this out for me, Mom or Dad. You're saying this, but you're also saying that. And how can I understand this? Can you make sense of this for me? They don't have that capacity to ask for that clarity. And so what they end up doing is saying, right, I've decided all by myself that I don't want to go. Okay, I don't want to see them. And it's this horrendous double bind that keeps children trapped, and also is so difficult to understand, because the wishes and feelings of the child is enshrined in our legislation. It's absolutely crucial that we pay attention to the wishes and feelings of the child. But in these cases, it's not the child's wishes and feelings that we're getting. The wishes and feelings have been so badly manipulated, for want of a better word. We use the adult attachment assessment, which is a reflective it's a reflective interview about your own experience of being parented. And what we find is that very often people have got either an unresolved trauma or an unresolved loss at the heart of their own childhood experiences. Sometimes, and quite often, they've been alienated themselves. Even in families where the parents have stayed together, very often there's a view of the father or one parent as being useless, no good, never did anything for the kids, just, whatever, and the other parent being idealized, and, they were wonderful, they, always there for me. That kind of presentation. So there's some unresolved stuff in the person's own childhood which may or may not be accessible to some therapeutic help. People developing character traits in relation to their environment, so in the context that they're in. So people who do this are usually people who have been very hurt themselves, or who haven't had parenting which has been responsive to their needs. They may have learned that the way to get attention is by performance, really being an amazing, pianist or violinist, or best at school, something like that, and that's the way that they get their needs met from their parent. However, when it comes to them having children, they turn everything into the child. They put everything into the child to meet their needs rather than the other way around. I've had parents say to me, I am their universe. I am their sun and their moon and their stars. They couldn't survive without me. And it's that kind of presentation that's very, very worrying. It's less amenable, if you like, to therapeutic help.